No place on the island was safe from the searching Jap fire, so Glamour Gal had to be dug well in her new position. The men moved cautiously because the sniper fire was heavy, and besides, the infantry was waiting. A change of positions meant an uneasy lapse in artillery support. The firing lag had to be kept to the absolute minimum. The enemy was expert at infiltration, and local security was important. While Glamour Gal was digging in, her little sisters carried the ball. Traditional to the Marine Corps, the highly mobile 75mm pack howitzers delivered continuous fire to the north in the face of heavy losses from Jap counter-battery fire. Any level ground that the Japs weren't using served as an airstrip for our grasshoppers. Aerial observation aided the ground batteries by identifying targets, spotting bursts, and radioing corrections back to the guns. At the southern approach to the first airstrip, another battalion of 105s was set up on Glamour Gal's flank. Since the afternoon of D-Day, these two outfits had shared range and target. When Glamour Gal was properly emplaced in a well-protected pit, her alignment was checked. All guns in the battery had to be as parallel as an aiming circle and a lieutenant's mathematics could make them. Forward observers landed with and deployed ahead of the infantry, spotted a large concentration of Japanese. They phoned the target data back to the Regimental Fire Direction Center, who would pass it down to battalion and battery positions. From the front to the gun pits, the Japanese troops and installations traveled down the chain of artillery command, acquired a jumble of grids and decimal points, and emerged at G Battery as a fire mission. A synchronized barrage, with the entire regiment backing up Glamour Gal as she blistered the paint off her tube to get her quota of effective rounds into the target area. The forward observers kept each section supplied with fire data. On this mission, the gun crews couldn't observe the effect of their own fire, but they knew that within 25 yards of every one of their bursts, no Jap could live. Up ahead, the infantry watched the smoke and bursts of the barrage. When it lifted, they were going in. The area neutralized, our riflemen moved in, but the Japs had managed to pull a few of their cliffside guns back out of our barrage. Enemy mortars and artillery were still zeroed in on the path of our advance. Rocket and tank teams delivered direct artillery and flame against the fortified ridges and into the firing ports and embrasures of the Japanese caves. From the air, observers directed the execution of the order that came down through division to burn out the entire area. A lull in the fire requests meant no rest for the gun sections. Glamour Gal had to be cleaned and ready for the next mission the infantry might call for. And the ammunition had to be unpacked during spare moments, for there would be no time when the firing started. Whenever possible, it was prepared in advance as well. The shell casings were loaded with powder bags, the number depending on the probable charges to be used. On the projectiles, fuses had to be set for everything from super quick to come next Sunday. Everything was prepared swiftly and with mathematical precision. Anything else might mean the loss of seconds in serving the guns, and seconds counted on Iwo Jima, where the Japanese, in the desperation of their last ditch, were pouring everything they had into our lives. They tried to stop us. The air was full of hot iron and purple hearts. Our advance continued northward. A few days after Glamour Gal had hit the beach, the Corps artillery had landed its 155mm howitzers. Not as fast or as mobile as the 105s, they had greater range and destructive power, and they were just the answer to the long-range Jap coastal guns. The nights were often very warm for February, when a high-trajectory artillery duel was on. It was give and take until the Jap sent a lucky shot into the division ammo dump. Things got strictly high trajectory, and division and corps artillery threw everything but the galley stove and the general's jeep into the Jap battery. In the morning, the Japanese guns were scrap iron. All over the island, the enemy defenses were crumbling. For the first time in almost a month, the artillery could stop to pick up its brass. The campaign was over. After 28 bloody days of fighting, the name of Iwo Jima went into the battle honors of 3 Marine divisions and into the glorious traditions of the United States Marine Corps. Glamour Gal was now a veteran. It had taken a paintbrush to name her, and 28 days of blood and fire to baptize her. Now she and the boys were getting ready to shove off again, getting ready for the next operation. This time, too, everybody knew where they were going. Korea, Formosa, Malaya, French Indochina. But they didn't know that their next landing would be on Japan itself. They didn't know that inside of 7 months, the war would be over, and that Glamour Gal's next mission would be as a policeman's club to help keep order in Greater East Asia. Some of them would never know. Pop Reynolds, the old man, was still back there, back on Iwo, and so was the captain. They will be there forever. Just a small part of history, the story of 10 men and a gun.